Welcome back everybody for part 3 of the motorbike build. As you can see, I've got my oil quart mounted since the last video, but that is not the only thing that's happened since the last video. I definitely got this thing running and took it for a ride. Had just gotten everything retorqued, make sure nothing was loose, and I kind of wanted to see a little bit of how fast it could go. So on this straightaway here, I was revving it out a little bit, and as soon as I got by the car, a chicken came running out and hit my front wheel. And as you can see, I was going pretty fast. Sadly, the chicken did not survive, but I got pretty beat up. My fingers got some good marks in it, and my whole arm scratched up, but I'm not gonna worry about showing that off. Today, I need to fine-tune a few things on the bike before we can really ride it. I think that this engine mount's coming a little bit loose because I remember these being a lot tighter before. This ended up failing eventually, not while I was riding, thankfully. I actually went ahead and cut out more of this fender here. I'm gonna end up either cutting this off and welding it together, or just clamping this together and welding them as is. Although I think that'll look a lot worse, so I'm probably gonna end up cutting it. And I think it's this piece of junk hose that I got off the scrap pile that's cracking. But something's leaking here at the fuel switch on the fuel cell. So I cut this thing down probably a third off of it, because a little bit of a higher seat is gonna be nice because it is a smaller bike, but I also don't want it to be too high. So honestly, that looks pretty good to me. I might lower the rear end a little bit of the seat down here, but for now this should do. Actually, I might just take off the entire carburetor air intake thing here so that I don't get any weld splattering on it. Let's go weld this up and take her for a spin. Whoops. That stud is actually loose. Maybe I should have taken this whole thing apart and examined it. I finished welding the seat together. The newer piece of stainless steel was actually quite cheap and thin, and as you can see, there's a hole right there. The stick welder just blew a hole through there when I tried to run any sort of bead across it, so it's very messily tacked together. And I actually just shoved a random bolt up in here to fill this back hole, because it started drifting this way as I started getting the front end tacked, and then this hole blew in it, so I figured something else for reinforcement would be good. We can get her started up after this. It's getting dark outside already though, so I might have to wait till tomorrow to record me riding it. Kill switch works great. All right, this is recorded test drive number 1. That clanging you hear is the chain hitting the fender, and it is dark out, and I have a flashlight headlight, so here we go. think it's time for a test ride on camera, and I am super excited. As you might have seen, the night footage turned out to be literally nothing. It was just a spotlight. This bike build has taken a lot longer than I planned it to, but I guess that's how most builds go. First things first, I need to turn the gas switch on. I'm gonna switch the choke lever on back here for starting, and here we go. All right, the chain fell off and it was really loud. I don't know if it's from it hitting up here or from it hitting down here. So yeah, I'm gonna have to fix that.